What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. So once again, another camera comparison, and this time between the iPhone 11 and the Samsung Galaxy S10. Now I haven't done these two phones together. I did the 11 Pro and the S10, and there were quite a bit of differences, and now we're doing the same exact thing, but there are some key differences between both of these phones. The Samsung Galaxy S10 does have 3 camera sensors on the back. The iPhone 11 only has 2, an ultra-wide sensor and then the wide-angle lens. The Samsung Galaxy S10 has an ultra-wide sensor, a telephoto lens, and then that wide-angle lens, which is super awesome. So between these two, technically speaking, the Samsung Galaxy S10 does have extra functionality with those cameras, as well as, I'll say this right now, the overall camera features I think and the UI is better still on the Android counterpart. So the S10 I believe has more features and everything. That doesn't necessarily mean that the camera quality and the photo quality is better on the Samsung Galaxy S10. So looking at the first photo, you can see the iPhone 11 photos will be on the left and the Samsung Galaxy S10 photos will be on the right. Now looking at this first photo, you'll be able to see, I will say straight out the gate, whenever I take these photos, I let the camera's autofocus. I don't click on anything. I don't do anything like that. I just let the camera autofocus by itself and just take the photo. And you can see that right out the first glimpse, the iPhone 11 photo actually looks a little bit brighter and just a little bit nicer straight out the gate. Now, if I zoom into the specific corner, I try to take them at the same location. I do kind of mess up sometimes. I'm only human. And you can see, even looking at these little things right here, it does look better on the iPhone 11 in my opinion. And if I kind of just zoom in a little bit all the way, you can kind of see, I mean, it's kind of good on both. I feel like there might be overall less noise on the Samsung Galaxy S10, but between these two, I'll probably say that the iPhone 11 does kind of have the better photo between these in my opinion. Now looking at this next photo of a Rubik's Cube, nothing too crazy going on, but again, dude, if I had to say it, I think like from first glimpse, the iPhone 11's photo does look a little bit sharper and a little bit less maybe washed out in a way. If I go ahead and zoom into the cube itself, you can kind of see, I mean, some people might like this photo, some people might not like this one, but I think, if you look at even at just the red specifically, they do kind of look pretty good on the iPhone 11, I think, than the Samsung Galaxy S10 if you go and see it. Again, neither of these are horrible photos or anything, but even if you just look at this specific color and this specific color, it looks so much sharper on the iPhone 11. This might be, having to do with the post-processing of the iPhone 11. That software seems to be really, really good. But between these, I'll probably tell you the iPhone 11's photo is probably the better one between these two. Now looking at this photo of the grass, there is a lot going on here, and I will definitely tell you from first glimpse again, I think the Galaxy S10 actually wins this one. Now one thing that makes me say that is if you zoom into the grass, look how much sharper the grass looks on the Samsung Galaxy S10. You can kind of see more of the dust particles and a little bit more going on. I feel like the iPhone 11 did a better job at kind of, doing a little bit sharper of a job, which I kind of like. But if you go ahead and look at this side right here, this thing right here, this is one thing that made me think possibly the iPhone 11 might be better. You can see this is still completely in focus. On it, the iPhone 11, it's completely blurred, which some people might like. This is actually technically more of a bokeh effect, which I prefer. But in this photo, it's kind of cool how that's in focus and that's in focus as well. Now, in my opinion, I think this one is the more important one because of that bokeh effect. But it's weird though, because if you zoom into that iPhone 11, you can see, look how much pixelated that specific part is. And I think that's more so than the bokeh effect. You can see on the Samsung Galaxy S10, it's much more smoother and it's still blurred out. But on the iPhone 11, it's a little bit, too noisy in my opinion. So looking at this next photo, it's just a picture of a lamp. It's nothing too crazy. And I think from this one, I can kind of see that the Samsung Galaxy S10 also looks a little bit better. Nothing too insane in my opinion. It's not like one is extremely better, but this one does seem a little bit washed out. This one seems a little bit better in my opinion. So nothing too crazy, but I think the Samsung Galaxy S10 wins here. Now this is another photo of the windowsill, and it's kind of funny because in the beginning the iPhone 11 photo looked better, but now I think this one looks better on the Samsung Galaxy S10. If I go and zoom into this specific part right here, you can see, again, nothing too insane. There's not too many, insane differences. Both cameras are very, very good, but you can see a little bit more whiter, in my opinion, a little bit less yellow and dirtier looking. The iPhone 11 definitely isn't dirty looking at all, but it just doesn't look as clean and crisp as the Samsung Galaxy S10's photo. So that's that specific photo. Nothing too insane, but I think the Samsung Galaxy S10 wins here again. Now this photo is another case of another yellowing aspect. I figured, I don't know why, in certain lighting conditions, especially when it's like darker, the iPhone 11 does a lot of yellowing compared to the Android counterparts. So if you look right here, you can see a lot more, I guess, sharper and also less whiter in my opinion and yellower. Look at the gray in the background, you can see a lot more yellowing going on here. This thing itself, the clothes hanger, looks so much whiter on here, and I think the iPhone 11 photo looks overall better than the Samsung Galaxy S10 photo in this specific situation. In this situation, nothing too crazy going on. I don't really notice too much. If I go and zoom into this specific like little windowsill thing, I don't really notice anything too crazy. They both look almost like the exact same photos. So between this one, nothing too insane going on. I'll let you guys be the judge a little bit. Between these, I think they're almost exactly the same. Now this photo, I kind of did mess up a little bit. I thought I took them at the same spot, but I didn't. If I go and zoom in a little bit, let's go ahead and zoom into like this specific little thing right there. And I think, man, in my opinion, I think this might be one case where possibly the iPhone 11 photo looks a little bit better. Of course, it doesn't really bring up as much detail as the Samsung Galaxy S10's photo. I feel like I can see a little bit more of these little rigid things than the iPhone 11, but I could be tripping. This could be just possibly like the situation itself or the lighting. But they were taken in the exact same location pretty much. On the background, you can also see how both phones interpret the specific colors. They're both the exact same colors, but look how different this is pretty much, you know? So that's kind of more lined up, and you can kind of see a better job of how both phones pretty much, interpreted this brown color. This is a photo of a ukulele. You guys already know, mixtape dropping soon, but again, I think it just overall you see more details on the Samsung Galaxy S10's photo. Like if I zoom into this specific little like dot thing right there, I want to see how pixelated it gets on the iPhone 11. And honestly, like, I don't know, I think possibly the iPhone 11 actually looks a little bit better here. It looks a little bit less pixelated, but from the back though, it looks like it is more pixelated, which is weird. I think the color looks a little bit better on the Galaxy S10, but I do kind of like how the iPhone 11s look as well, so between both of these, I think it's a tie, honestly. Now this is an example of portrait mode on both of these phones, and this is taken exact same location, exact same animal, and as you can see with the iPhone 11, look at actually on the background. I think you can tell more from the background than anything, and the background is a little bit blurred here, it's a little bit blurred everywhere, but look at that Apple logo. You can see on the iPhone 11, look how blurred out that is. Now, some people might not like that or might think that's bad. That's actually really, really good. You want to have that center animal, that centerpiece, whatever it is, focused on the main site, and you want everything else blurred out. If you look at the animal itself, it actually does look pretty good on the Samsung Galaxy S10, and I think it actually might look overall better. If I zoom into the face, this is a little creepy, I do apologize. I do kind of like the colors on the Samsung Galaxy S10, even that red ribbon. If I go and kind of zoom into that a little bit, you can kind of see, actually it might look better on the iPhone 11 actually. I'm not too sure, but between both of these, I like the coloring a little bit on the Samsung Galaxy S10, but the background blur looks so much better on the iPhone 11 for sure. Now this is the first photo taken outside, and on first glimpse, I started noticing a couple of different things, So first of all, on the leaf itself, when we zoom in, we gotta do that leaf check. And between both of them, definitely different colors for sure. If I go and kind of zoom into the bottom part of this leaf, I do kind of notice, you can notice a differing of the colors. The Samsung Galaxy S10 did, I guess, a better job at kind of darkening some of these colors, but I do kind of like that. Even in the background, you can see it darkened the background a little bit. I'm not too sure what made that specific. It was a little windy, so maybe it was, had something to do with it. But between both these two, they don't really look too different, but I do kind of like the Samsung Galaxy S10's photo. This photo is actually ultra-wide mode on both, and as you can see, they both look the same in terms of ultra-wide mode for sure, like they're kind of the exact same thing. But the quality, again, I think looks better on the Galaxy S10. If you look at that specific light bulb, you can see it's a little bit wider, which I do kind of like. You can see a little bit more of this on the top. It looks a little bit darker for some reason on the iPhone 11, so nothing too crazy, but something that I did kind of, showcase. Even look at the paneling of the house. I mean, it looks so much like less dirtier in a way. I think that's like the best way I can put it. If you kind of match this up, you can kind of see, I mean, I do kind of like how the coloring looks on the S10 over the iPhone 11. Looking at this specific photo, this is really weird because there seems to be a lot of post-processing and filtering that the S10 does. Now, in my opinion, I kind of like the S10s, but I don't want something to be over-filtered, and with the S10, I think that's a little bit overboard. That's like a filter on a filter. The iPhone 11s looks more authentic, and it looks more to real life, but some people might like how the S10 interpreted the wood, but between these two, I do kind of like the iPhone 11 in my opinion. But it's funny, with this specific photo, they didn't really do that over post-processing, which is, it's kind of weird. They did it with that photo, but they didn't do it with this one. I did see some other photos with the S10 did. If you look at this one, I mean, again, pretty much the exact same photo, nothing going on really. They both showcase pretty much the same exact amount of detail. That's the one thing I look for the most, is the amount of detail in a photo, and they look pretty good. Maybe the S10s might be a little bit more, but between these two, they're pretty much just the exact same thing. And this is another photo of a massive amount of post-processing. Look at this amount of difference. I like this for sure, but if they just did a little bit less, if I went in and edited it myself, it would look a little bit better than what it does now, and I might prefer this image. But as of right now, dude, I don't like how the S10 over post-processes the iPhone 11. I don't think it's like the best looking photo, but it's definitely really, really good. But let's go ahead and zoom in like to this specific leaf right here, and this leaf does not look this good in real life, man. I don't want to leaf shame. I don't want to leaf shame this specific leaf for this tree. But this does not look like, this is like what some, I'm not even gonna say it, but between these two, the iPhone 11's photo definitely is, better at capturing the authentic image, but the S10 looks better in a way, so I don't know. This is another example. Actually, with this one, the focusing seems a little bit better on the leaf itself on the S10. The S10 with the iPhone 11's leaf, it looks a little bit weird. And guys, I just noticed this specific leaf actually looks like the Grinch, which is kind of funny. I wasn't expecting that. But yeah, that specific photo, I'd probably give the edge to the iPhone 11, maybe the S10 more. This is I mean, if they didn't do as much post-processing, dude, I would probably pick this photo because of that autofocusing on the leaf. But I don't know, man. I don't know what Samsung was thinking with this. Looking at this specific photo, again, you can see specific, looking at that specific macro shot, I want to, and this actually might be the last photo. Looking at that thing in the middle, guys, I don't know what this is. It's like a bug or something. But look at the amount of detail and the amount of focus that you got on the iPhone, on the S10 versus the iPhone 11, And this is kind of the thing that I've been getting around the whole entire time. It's like, I feel like the autofocusing, the details, the everything is better most of the time on the S10. But the iPhone 11 does have a lot going forward as well, And I don't think there's like a definite 100% winner between both of these. I think the S10 probably might win. If the S10 was like a 10 out of 10, the iPhone 11 is definitely like a 9 out of 10. Like it's almost, they're probably like a 9.5. There were some cases where the iPhone 11 was better as well, but I think more times than not, possibly the S10 was better. So that pretty much covers it, guys. If you have any questions or anything, leave it down in the comment section below. I'll find the cheapest Samsung Galaxy S10s and iPhone 11s that I find on Amazon, and I'll link them down right in the description below so you guys can get it from there and help support the channel at the same time. That's pretty much it. If you guys have any other questions or anything, leave those in the comment section as well. Hit that like button, that will mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so it'll mean so much if you guys could hit that. Also, check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my second channel. All those links are linked down below. I'd really appreciate it if you guys could check it out. But more importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.